What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Wildcast Instacast post-game show. We are presented by Appliance Solutions, 25 Halifax Street, 506-858-5111. Right now, the Gen Air Luxury Redefined event. Save an additional 10% when you purchase one, 15% when you purchase two or three, 20% when you purchase four, or 25% when you purchase five or more eligible Gen Air products. Again, in-store only, just not a full 60 minutes tonight for the Wildcats. They go down 6-5 to the Islanders in the shootout. They get the point, but they really should have had to. And I'll get into it. We'll go quickly around the queue here. Cape Breton, 4-0 victory over Shawinigan, as we will see them on Sunday as they're off to Halifax tomorrow. And Halifax getting a 4-2 victory over St. John. Drummondville right now 5-3 over Baie-Comeau with just under a minute left in the third period. Gatineau up 3-2, or a 3-2 final on Quebec. Rouyn-Noranda 4-1 over Rimouski, and going into overtime, Sherbrooke and Victoriaville are tied 2-2. Bathurst and Blainville are tied 1-1, and Chicoutimi and Val-d'Or are 3-1. Both of those final ones are early in the third period. And here again, go at the Avenir Center. The Wildcats a 6-5 shootout loss to the Islanders. That's now 3 games against the Islanders, 6 possible points. The Wildcats have gotten 4 out of that. They got the OT. They beat them 6-2. They got the OT win or OT loss, and then again they get the shootout loss. And it's just, this was a game that got away from them, and this was a game that the 2 points got away, and this may cost them different type of seeding as we get into, again, really far ahead. But you get into that March playoff run, and this extra point here, or this extra point in that OT loss against the Islanders a couple weeks ago, it's big. And but like I said on the podcast, the first home game after a road trip is always the toughest. Now the Islanders are on the exact same road trip. They went the opposite way. We started in Val-d'Or and came back to Gatineau and went home. They went to Gatineau and then started in Gatineau and all the way up to Val-d'Or and came home. But again, it's easier to be the road team when you just get in that road trip mindset. And that's kind of what the Islanders are right now, as they've been kicked out of the Eastlink Center for the U17 tournament, which Caleb Denoyer and Team White are off to the gold medal game tomorrow at 5 p.m. Atlantic on TSN. Carrier, I believe, Team Red, they won their game today. But yeah, the Team White and Denoyer are off to the gold medal game tomorrow against Team USA, who led an overtime victory. But here at the Avenir Center, let's get into this one. I'll see if I can switch the screens here. I'll stop that screen and switch this other one. Welcome into those 3 joining. If you guys have any comments on the game, leave them below, and I'll try to get to them. Let's go to Twitter here. Share. All right. So yeah, early on in the first period, the MCL line. Look, they've had, I think I tallied it up, I think they've had 17 points in these past 4 games, and tonight was no exception. Here's the call from Marty Kingston on Harvesters FM. Before I hit that, you see that right there? 6-0 in shots. So the Islanders, they came out in the first 20 seconds. Cole Hawkins got his third of the year. And just like that, first shot, first goal. I believe that one was tipped coming through, which was kind of a theme at the end of the night as well. But about 3 minutes later, Vincent Collard to the MCL line got things going. Here's a call from Marty Kingston on Harvesters FM.
Collard, nice play along the boards. Good outlet pass. Preston Lounsbury through the middle. Here comes Collard over the blue line. Cuts around Kiersey. There's the shot. They score! Vincent Collard!
This game was not coverage, I can tell you that for free. Well, thanks for telling me that for free there, Brandon. I appreciate that. But let me know if you guys heard the sound on that, because I don't have the earphones in. So I'm just going to try and listen to myself. But let me know if you guys have the sound on that one. But yeah, Vincent Collard and Preston Lounsbury. I actually thought Collard passed it over to Lounsbury.
Play along the boards.
You can see he kind of makes a move. But this line has just been so good since being put together. Oh yeah, he went. I thought he passed over to Lounsbury, but he did go with the shot up top. It gave us the tied, and then again same two players, same situation. Again, I'm going to highlight. Here's your shots, 12-3. The only reason this game is tied is Keegan Warren in that first period. I'll expand a little bit on after the highlight here. Here's a call from Marty Kingston on Harvesters FM.
Kyle Powers. Marina lets it go. Breakaway. Lounsbury's got Collard with them. Back to Collard. They score. What a pretty goal. Lounsbury and Collard.
2-0.
Islanders show at the Moncton
really
line.
But,
in the middle.
Yeah, these guys are connected and they're making things happen. And back and forth, save two players, almost a carbon copy of the goal. So Vincent Collard had his second of the game, giving us the 2-1 lead. And then roughly, how about 6 minutes later, Connor Trenholm off the face-off, he's able to get one as he kind of races to the open puck. Here is the call.
Signing autographs after the game. Jersey raffle is number 23, Riley Sampson. Shot in by Moncton, loose puck to Trenholm, they score! Connor Trenholm! Simpson on the clock there.
It's a simple puck draw, get it across, and a little bit of a bobble there, and Trenholm gets it. But the shots, I mean, with 17 minutes in the game, 3 goals on 9 shots, and we're being outshot 17-9. That is not a recipe for good hockey, I'll tell you that much. So after 20 minutes, it was 3-1. Oh, wrong button. After 20 minutes, it was 3-1 for the Wildcats. And shots, I believe, were 17-9, 17-10. Sorry, 18-9 after 20 minutes. The only reason that score was 3-1 for the Wildcats was Keegan Warren. I mean, he kept us in it. The first 20-minute effort, the Wildcats didn't deserve to be up 3-1. He held steady and he had a good game for us. Just gotta get back to the highlights here because I kind of lost my page.
Collard across the blue line to Lounsbury.
All right, so we get started in the second period. Vincent Collard completes the hat trick for his 11th of the year. Again, from Mueller. Like I said, they had 7 points tonight, that line. So here is the highlight from Marty Kingston on Harvesters FM.
Mueller is there. Back to Collard. Across the blue line to Lounsbury. Mueller streaks for the net. Couldn't get the shot away. Centers it. They score to Collard. How about the heady Passacala?
I don't know if that's Collard's first hat trick, but Lounsbury definitely got the puck for him there. And that's kind of how this line is going. I mean, the puck is bobbling. Just a simple turn, and Mueller knows exactly where Collard's going to be. And that's such a beautiful thing to happen right now. Is this line has just been something else for the Wildcats, and a lot of the reason why they've got some W's, missing some key players. And then Alexei Michaud gets the Islanders to within 2. After that Collard goal, that was the end for Axel's Oslis, I believe is how you pronounce it. So 8 saves on 13 shots. That was going to end his night, and that was kind of, I think the Wildcats just took advantage of a backup goaltender. They hadn't. I don't believe he had played against Moncton before. The MC line right now is one of the top couple lines. Halifax got a pretty good one. Ren's got a pretty good one. Drummondville with Gauthier and Cote. But yeah, we're at least top 3 or 4 lines right now. But eight saves on 13 shots. That ended his night. And the Wildcats had 13 shots against Oslis, up 4-1, and only 14 shots on Carter Bickle. And that's just not enough shots. And I don't even think it's a case of they took their foot off the gas. I think it's just a case of they just didn't have their legs. They didn't have their game. And I talked to Collard after, and he said that they didn't play the way they know they can. And, they were kind of, I don't want to say bailed out by I don't want to say a bad goaltender, but it was just one of those nights where everything was kind of working for the Wildcats early. And then it took the Islanders a while to get their legs. Like I said, Alexei Michaud gets a goal almost 20 seconds later to cut the lead to 4-2. And then I don't know about you, but we were finally feeling 22, and you can see the sheer yell from Thomas Auger here as I get the highlight ready. Fly on my head as I get the highlight ready from Auger. So here is the call from Marty Kingston on Harvesters FM.
Morneau is going to throw it into the Moncton zone. Picked up by Zielinski. Lead pass. Auger. Partial breakaway. Auger going in. Backhander scores. Thomas Auger at 4:11.
Just so happy to score. Like, he is pumped. Great pass here by Zielinski, getting it up to Auger, and then he goes forehand and backhand. Nice little move there. Getting the actually, that was Oslis. That ended his night. The fifth goal on 13 shots there. But Auger finally getting on the board. Good to see, and you can see he was pumped for that one, getting his fourth of the year. And I think he hasn't scored in a few games here. I'm trying to see. We have a few games since he put since October 8th, the Sunday game against Blainville, he got a goal, and that's his first goal in pretty much a month. And I mean, he's had a couple assists here and there, but it's tough when you're in the bottom six when you're as skilled as he is. But he's finding a nice little niche there with Trent Holm, and I can't remember who else played with him, but yeah, good to see him finally get on the board. And that's kind of it for the Wildcats highlights in that one. Eventually the Islanders just kind of kept storming back and got this thing tied. Just over a minute left in the third. I'm just trying to switch my screens here. Yeah, and then you can see it there. Michael Horth gets his 16th, leading 16th of the year, I do believe. And then Ross Campbell gets one back-to-back power play goals. And Kiersey with the tying goal. That one was tough. I mean, guys were trying to block shots, and that one kind of goes off Collard and just past Warren, just trickles past him, which tied the game. And overtime, it was a power play for the Islanders late in the game. Collard with a delay of game penalty. So that's what that goal was. So the Islanders chipping away at Keegan Warren, kind of digging at him. I can't remember. I think it was Huckins, maybe it was Powers. I'm not really sure who it was. But Boutin, Mercier, and Gabe Smith flying here took exception to it, as they should. Alexei Mercier gets the extra 2 for roughing. So I had said Gabe Smith because they had put 9 up on the board. But now I don't know if they gave Boutin, Mercier double roughing to kind of, those were the sawed off penalties. And then Gabe Smith got the unsportsmanlike after. But either way, we go to the box. I mean, I'm sorry, you can't have a saw off 3-3, send 6 guys to the box, 3 for each team, and then give one of the guys an extra penalty. Just, it doesn't work like that. Like, the reason they went after him is because they stuck our goalie. Dug at our goalie. That's how that works. And of course, because they got the extra 2, or we got the extra 2. Ross Campbell makes it 5-4 because, of course, he does almost 20 seconds after the infraction. So that's just the way it goes sometimes, and you know that they're going to score when there's, I don't want to say gifted a penalty, but when that kind of situation happens. And again, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to get into it. But they took advantage of that power play. We got a hooking call we got a penalty. We got a power play a little bit later on, a couple minutes later. Couldn't take advantage to continue to get that 2-goal lead. That came back to bite us as Marcus Kiersey got his second of the year to tie this game. And then, went into the shootout, and the Islanders were able to get the extra point tonight over the Wildcats in the shootout. The hardest worker of the game was number 22, Thomas Auger, who had, I believe, just the goal today. Yep. And then your 3 stars of the game, I mean, it was the MCL line, and how can it not be? 7 points between them. Mueller had 1 assist tonight. He was the 3rd star. Preston Lounsbury, 3 assists. And Vincent Collard had the 1st star with 3 goals. I also interviewed him. You'll see that here in a little bit, as well as I interviewed Cooper Cormier on what it was like to play his first home game, as well as getting the call up and getting his first goal in Gatineau. So, yeah, a bit of a tough one. And shots tonight, I mean, 18-9 after 20 minutes, 9-8, kind of a seesaw second period. And then Charlottetown kind of just continued to do what Charlottetown does and continued to do what Jim Holden hockey, and outshot the Wildcats 17-8, 4-2 in overtime. In the overtime, we survived the late penalty by Collard, a couple big saves by Warren on that PK, and then just some 2-on-1 elects to shoot, which is never a bad thing, but he sails it wide and then tried to get it over to, I believe, Collard again. It was just not to be tonight for the Wildcats. So they get the Saturday off. Shawinigan is off to Halifax tomorrow, and then they're in town on Sunday, fun day. So Max Barbashev returns to Moncton. So definitely, if you're not already liking and subscribing, we need 2 more followers for 200 here on the YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, because you're not going to want to miss the podcast this Wednesday. We've got 2 guests. We got John DeCourcy of the Moncton Flyers as we get ready for the Monctonian. Again, if you go to any of our, go to our Twitter and look up our pinned tweet. It's got a Movember. You can donate. The highest donation up until the Wednesday game against Bathurst gets 2 tickets to the Monctonian, the whole tournament, all the games, all the Flyers games, the Q prospect game. You want to see some of the top prospects that could be in the Q draft next year? Well, you'll get free tickets from us if you're able to do that. Again, thanks to Scotty and Tony from New Country 96.9 who gave us those tickets. And then, doesn't stop there. You guys want to keep donating? Again, the highest donation after Wednesday, so from the 16th to the 23rd, the highest donation will get 2 tickets to Corey Crawford night, Friday, November 24th, as the Huskies are in town. But like I mentioned, we got the head coach of the Flyers, John DeCourcy, on the podcast. We also will have an interview with Max Barbashev as he makes his return to Moncton. We'll get his thoughts on being at Rangers camp in Hartford in the AHL, as well as just his start in Shawinigan. And we're probably going to talk about the OT victory, the OT winner against Baie-Comeau, and just kind of his time in Moncton and being back at the Avenir Center this time as a visitor. So you will definitely want to check that out on Wednesday. John DeCourcy and Max Barbashev on the podcast. And we're probably going to have some thoughts about this one. But, I mean, just the team that we saw on the road trip, minus the Ren game. That was a tough one on the back-to-back. But that we've seen in that 7-game win streak. And, that was not the team tonight. And I said that on the show. I said the first game after a road trip at home is always the toughest. What was the attendance tonight? I feel like it was good for the Remembrance Day game. Excellent. Nice little ceremony before the game. Again, they had the walkout. Continue to do that, Wildcats. That is a beauty. It just kind of sets the intro there. 42-42 was the attendance tonight. So up a little bit. And again, team winning. It is a Remembrance night. that will help. I imagine the attendance will be something close to that on Sunday Fun Day. I didn't realize they had the actual shooters. So Alex Michaud put the scored on Keegan Warren, and Thomas Auger missed it. Huckins missed, Collard missed, Campbell missed, Miles Mueller scored, Michael Horth put the puck in the net, and Alex Mercier was unable to get one past Carter Bickle to continue the shootout. So that's how that kind of went. So, but again, I mean, they get to Oscar Oslis early, and then Carter Bickle comes in, and just 14 shots is all they're able to muster in 40 minutes for him. So just, I mean, I'm sure if you talk to a man and the coach, just not good enough, not enough shots from the Wildcats. They got outshot 48-27, almost 2-1. That just can't happen. But sadly, that is something you kind of expect in these first games after the long road trip. No excuses, but like you'll hear a little bit later, as Collard said, I mean, they got to get back to playing the hockey they know they can play. We could have at least one reinforcement back, as Carrier played today in the 5th place game, so I think his tournament is over. So he could be back Sunday against Shawinigan. I'm not sure on Denway, as that'll be a lot of hockey, as they have the semifinal tonight, and then they've got the gold medal game tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's kind of a quick turnaround for him. So I don't think Denway will be back, but I mean, he may want to get back and feeling good if they can get that gold medal victory over Team USA. Again, that game is tomorrow on TSN at 5 p.m. Atlantic time. But yeah, we'll at least have Carrier back. I'm not sure on Loshing. Again, I think Kevin Barrett's article, if I can find it here from, I know Jeremy sent it. Where was it here? Jeremy. He had an article from Kevin Barrett on the Times and Transcript. So Loshing is back practicing with the team. The Quad considers him doubtful for the weekend, but he did not rule him out completely. So again, I don't think we'll see him against Shawinigan. I mean, if you can give him some extra time off, you've got Shawinigan, Bathurst, Cape Breton. I would imagine he'll be in one of those 2 road games, but if there is a week to give him off, and again, they play Sunday, they play Wednesday, they play Saturday, so it's not any back-to-back situations or anything like that. We'll have to see. And again, in the article from Kevin, it says Denway and Carrier could play Sunday against Shawinigan, but that'll depend on their ice time at the World Under 17 and when they finish playing. So again, Carrier is done tonight, or he was done at 1 o'clock today. So he most likely will be in the lineup tomorrow or Sunday. I have no word on that. I'm just guessing based off his tournament ending today. Denway, I'm not too sure, but again, how you put them together, it'll be, again, aside from the MCL line, I just don't. It'll be. I don't want to say it'll be a blender of lines. I think you're going to keep some of these guys together, but I'm just trying to find. Where's our lines here? I mean, once Loshing comes back, no doubt, I assume him and Denway will get back to the top line. Mercier kind of reunite that as they've had some good chemistry there. But against your bottom 6, and we've got some players that can play in that bottom 6 so far. So again, I mean, you got Smith, Mercier right now on the top line. You're not breaking up the MCL line with Mueller, Lansbury, and Collard. It kind of, the way it sets up, you kind of see a Trenholm, Sumpf, and Auger as your third line, but I just don't know. It's a good problem to have. You're going to have some guys, it's tough. I hate guessing on lines because you kind of put something together and then you forget about a certain player. But yeah, I mean, Trenholm, Sumpf, and Auger, that's a size, skill, speed. And then if your fourth line is Smith, Carrier, and and Glass, you kind of need a centerman there and a Samson and a Delorier. So again, kind of a good problem to have, but just finding the pieces of where you're going to put these guys is something that should be interesting to see. Maybe not so much on Sunday, but as we get into Bathurst, Cape Breton, and then to end the November on a 4-game homestand, into December a 5-game homestand. So, oh man, I got my Christmas party the day we play Chicoutimi. Dang it! Oh, I really should have checked that out. Now dang it. Yeah, I mean, we're at the 25-minute mark again. I apologize for being late. Don't blame me. Blame the overtime. We should have had this wrapped up in 60 minutes, but it did go to the shootout. So again, thanks for everyone who's joining me. Again, if you forget, 2 followers away from 200 on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell so that you know when we're doing post-game shows as well as podcasts, which drop this Wednesday again. It's a big one. We got John DeCourcy of the Flyers talking about the Monctonian, the Telus Cup, and kind of the success that the Flyers have had in the queue, as well as we're going to have an interview with Max Barbashev as he gets set to make his return to the Avenir Center after scoring one of the biggest goals in recent memory for the Wildcats in that Game 7 OT thriller against Baie-Comeau. So we're going to go quickly around the league as most of the games I think are done here. Oh, I love this new website. Good job, CHL. Way to just butcher your website. Try to click over to get the rest of the games, and it goes all the way back to the November 2nd or whatever. So Chicoutimi gets 4-1 victory over Val-d'Or. Bathurst gets 2-1 victory over Blainville. Looks like Sherbrooke and Victoriaville are 2-2, so they're going to a shootout as overtime solved nothing there. The Huskies 4-1 over Rimouski. Gatineau gets a 3-2 victory over Quebec. Drummondville 5-4 over Baie-Comeau. Halifax 4-2 over St. John. Cape Breton gets a 4-0 victory over Shawinigan as they start their 3-3 road trip. And Wildcats go down 6-5 in the shootout to the Islanders, so at least they got a point. Standings wise, I don't believe we were any longer in first place in the Maritime Division as we kind of drop by 1 point. So we were 1 point behind Halifax. Still third in the conference, but 1 point behind the Halifax Mooseheads right now. So again, long way to go. We're only in November, but it's 1 point that we're going to miss. That's 2 quality points that we've let slip away against the Islanders. Once in overtime 2-3 weeks ago, and then tonight in the shootout. And again, I think the worst part about this one is you're up 5-2, and you let that one slip away. But that's junior hockey. You get up, make a goaltending switch. Their bench is energized, their team is energized, and next thing you know, it's 5-5, and they go into overtime. So again, that's it for me. Thanks for joining me on the Appliance post game on the Wildcast Instacast post-game show presented by Appliance. Right now, they got the Gen Air Luxury Redefined event. You save 10% when you purchase 1, 15% when you purchase 2 or 3, 20% on purchasing 4, or 25% when you purchase 5 or more eligible Gen Air products from now till the end of the year. In-store only, 506-858-5111 if you want to call for more information, or go to 25 Halifax Street if you want to take part in that luxury redefined event by Gen Air. And Alpha Appliance Solutions, thanks to them for being the title sponsor of the Wildcast podcast. You guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy your Saturday. If you can, get out and get to the Remembrance Day celebrations. Because I'm able to do this, you're able to watch this. We just saw a hockey game because of what our soldiers past and present do, paying the ultimate price and sacrifice so that we can live in this country free. Have a good night.